All right. Next game, PowerPoint Karaoke. I'd like to thank my friend Meryl from South Lake Tahoe for introducing me to this game in 2021. Really quickly, this is how it works. You need between 4 to 10 people to volunteer to play this game, but the total group size can be no limit. You can have a massive group, but you do need somewhere between 4 to 10. I wouldn't do more than 10 people. It's going to go on too long. And with less than 4, yeah, it could still work, but it's a little boring. And so you can have people who have no interest in playing this game really benefit from this game. You can have wallflowers just watch. It's great. You need to build in prep time for this game. I've done this as soon as I've announced this game and then played it as soon as a few hours in between announcing and playing it. But you need to give people a reasonable amount of time to build a PowerPoint presentation. And of course, PowerPoint just means any slide. I like Google Slides. Ivy created a Canva slide deck also. So anything that can be easily shared or transferred online, and you just hit play and you can go through the slides. The 10 slides should have no builds. They should just be slides that you would see in a PowerPoint. It's really shockingly simple. But then there's so much nuance and complexity that can come depending upon who the group is. But before I say too much more about this, I'm going to demo it with Ivy. And Ivy is who I reached out to specifically because when she and I were running a program together in Europe last year, we played PowerPoint Karaoke with our group of 18 to 21-year-olds. And so she has already been tested. And so she has created a 10-slide presentation for me and sent me the link. I've only seen the first slide because I had to open it, but I haven't seen anything else. And Ivy has a 10-slide presentation, which she has otherwise never seen before. And maybe I'll say a little bit more before we jump in, which is the most important part of playing this game. What makes it fun and ridiculous instead of just kind of like waiting for it to be over, is you need to instill this sense of confidence in the person presenting, even if they have no experience with public speaking and they've never given a PowerPoint before. You need to say, like, have you ever seen a TED Talk? And many people will say, yes. Some people don't know what a TED Talk is. And it's like, have you ever seen a really good short presentation? Everyone will say yes. And it's like, you need to own this. You need to act like you have rehearsed this. You are on the stage. You are ready to just wow us. This means you do what a professional presenter does. It's just you speak confidently. You don't second guess yourself. You don't read off your slides. You are like, I know what's happening, even though you have no idea what's happening. Okay, enough of that. Ivy, go ahead and share your screen and load up the presentation I gave you, and then you can go for it. Good luck.
Oh, I'm going first.
Oh, you're going first, Ivy.
My phone. Hold on. Sorry. You texted it to me on WhatsApp, and I did not put it on my phone. Hold on. On my computer.
While you're loading that up, just a little bit more about the basics of this. People often are like, oh, should I just write a bunch of text on my slides? I'm like, no, images. Just put in like one image on each slide if you don't know what to do. Some people love to get crazy with this. They'll put lots of different images, or they'll use like weird gradients if they know how to do this stuff. And I say, if this is your first time ever making one of these slide decks, one image, maybe a little bit of text in a big font, and that is all you need for each slide. And it's really helpful, since it's only 10 slides, if you like make an indicator of what the last slide is going to be. And so it's something on the 10th slide that makes it clear, okay, this is the end, because people forget how many slides they've been through.
Okay, I'm getting it. Hang on. Okay.
Cole, I see your hand.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, go for it.
Can this be done analog to where, like, let's say in our house, we have so many books that nobody gives any shits about. So like if we had a group of kids in our house, could we have like them really quick put like an analog PowerPoint together with just pictures like glued on a piece of paper? I mean, it's fine
Yes.
to do it however way, right? Like you're
Yeah.
just
Yeah, why not?
just a zero tech version is just, I'm
Yeah.
just like, is there any reason why we wouldn't want to do that?
No, I don't
Okay.
think there is. I think they would just need to be big enough to be easily seen by
By
everyone
the
in the
group.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Great.
I never thought about that.
Just checking.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, good. Okay. Are we ready? Is everybody
We're ready.
ready?
Go for it,
I'm
Ivy.
so happy to be here with you today. This is something that's been on my heart and something I've wanted to share with you. And especially in the fever of all that's been happening, I've especially been, just poring over this topic. And I'm so happy to share it with you. I'm here today to talk about 9 alternatives to the World Cup and why they will obviously lead to world peace. Here we go. Well, I've got 2 sons. I would say, why bother with the World Cup when you can wrestle on a hot beach with your children and get sandy? Whoa, hold on. This is not good. Hold on. Sorry. This is a very sensitive slideshow.
Click left on your keyboard.
I am. Oh, see it. I'm doing it on the screen.
Oh boy, we're getting some deep previews here.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Good grief. Okay. There's always a hot beach, ornery children. These things are so much better for team building, for just restoring your soul. I love everything about a family conflict and a hot sandy beach. It's just we'd much rather go do that than watch a bunch of men on a field. These folks, I think they have all the answers. He's breakdancing and fighting at the same time. The judges have they're just amazing humans with a lot of consternation, really. And if you are a Red Bull fight dancer, then there's really no room for soccer in your life, I don't think. And this is obviously, a much more passive and interesting way to spend your young adulthood. Wow. I don't even have to say anything. We all know that we would like to eat 86 hot dogs in under 10 minutes, because if we were all doing that, we would certainly have no energy left to question our government or do anything other than spend the next day or week or month recovering and vomiting and dealing with the repercussions. This is very near and dear to my heart, this sort of psychic connection. There's bondage. There's certainly a mind meld going on here. I feel it. They're connecting right this moment. They look peaceful. I think that the future of that is up for discussion. But soccer can be distracting. There are too many people on the field. It's just hard to watch. Sometimes I just sort of get dizzy. And these two gals bring it home for me. And I think for our country, really. Wow, this dog, hairless dogs, and the people who show them are the true heroes in our country. And that's really all I have to say about that. I don't think there are any words to quantify what this means for our country and for the world and for peace and for the dogs and the women who give their heart and soul to doing this. Dang. When all else fails and the soccer is just way too much for you, and you've watched your 20th match and you can't even pronounce the names of the country, and the judges, the referees are out to lunch, I like a good evil dragon and drum playing wizard to, I'm not even sure. I'm going to leave that. Drugs are always the answer, right? I was talking with a coworker about this today, and we were both saying how special our drug experiences were. She favored heroin and cocaine. I liked ecstasy as a young adult. But gosh, I felt peaceful. And I think if everybody did more drugs, we could just, we'd be on a different plane, and we wouldn't care so much either about the train wreck that is our government and this world right this minute. And you certainly wouldn't care about soccer. Wow, the end is near. See, maybe because of the networks and all the money they're making off of soccer. But if you truly are really wanting to blow your mind and bring this all to a head, sit down and watch more soccer. Oh, it's all about cats. It is. I don't know if you're a cat person or a dog person, but cat people are more peaceful, and cats don't play soccer, nor should they. They're smarter than we are, and they're always peaceful. They're just napping. It's they've got the answers. They try to tell us, or they really don't care. But here we have it. World peace.
Bravo. Round of applause for Ivy, please.
Womp.
How did you feel, Ivy?
That was horrifying, but fun. I love that.
Yeah.
This is not I'm an introvert. That scares me to death, but that was fun.
Yeah. And what I love about this game is that it does give the introverts this sick pleasure sometimes to develop in their mind the craziest series of 10 slides.
Right.
But then if you're going to play, if you're going to create the slides, you also need to present the slides. So you got to be in both directions.
Yes.
This
is a little different. I'll say that.
Okay. If we had a bit more time, I would say after each presentation, you open up for a little bit of Q&A. And if we did that, one of my questions would be, so Ivy, tell me how the evil dragon and the drum playing wizard lead to world peace, but don't answer that.
Because I don't know.
That's right. They might even be someone else. Gandalf, Balrog, I don't know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do your presentation, and then let's do a little Q&A about facilitating this game. Here we go. Okay, there we are. Welcome, everyone. I have a dark present for you. This is something I've been waiting to get off my chest for a long time, and now I'm about to. I'm not human. Just want to throw that out there. And this is not just my own personal belief anymore. There's actually peer-reviewed science to show that I'm not human. I'm part robot. I'm actually a majority robot at this point. And no one believed me when I said it before. And so I'm here to provide a little bit more evidence on that front. If you've ever seen the Terminator movies, you look at all the metallic goo and the skeletons inside of them, all the weapons they have. You're like, that must cost a lot of money. Let me tell you, that is correct. Actually, to create me, it was the equivalent of the GDP of a small Caribbean nation. And as you can see, I'm not just a killer robot inside. I've got all sorts of other functions that make me who I am. And if you know who I am, you know exactly what these breakdowns mean. Something else, I'm not very popular these days because to train the brain part of my cyborg nature actually required a lot of data center processing, and a lot of people are kind of upset about that right now. It's not just data, it's not just energy though. You got to put in the miles. There's a goat in Portugal that was part of my training, which I'm legally not allowed to tell you more about. And all this training led me directly away from a typical American household experience. I'm not a perfect cyborg. Every now and then, I get what we used to call the blue screen of death back there for all you Windows 95 users. And I have learned that this is actually a sign from the universe that I need to be doing something differently. And so when I think about, for example, settling down and buying a house, I get an error message. What does that mean? Keep traveling. Great. That's what I've been doing for 20 years, folks. I have apps that run inside of me. Here's one of them. You're actually getting a screenshot of my internal view that I have. And sometimes, all of us have to deal with promotional stuff. This app is actually a promotion from the SPCA, a branch of it, the Young Williams Animal Center, trying to get me to, adopt. But you know what I would need for that? A house. We've already discussed that. Not going to happen. I have firmware updates. This is the part of being a cyborg that most people, they think cyborg, cool. No, you have constant updates. And then you just have to sit there comatose while these things install. It can take a very long time and be very unpleasant. If you've been paying attention to this presentation, you'll realize that you've been given a lot of evidence that is pretty undeniable. Some people say cyborg plague, conspiracy theory. To them, I say murder. And someone's been using AI. And there's another version of me coming. I don't want to spoil it for you, but if you stay tuned, like and subscribe, then the next version of Cyborg Blake will be coming. Just wait for that firmware update. Don't forget to follow your dreams, kids. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Bye. Thank you. Ivy, how did I do?
You did great.
Wow. So this was a great example of like the many different places that these presentations can go. Ivy went for okay, so this is a special situation. She knew that I was going to be presenting it. And so she could create something just for me. But what's fun about this is I would not do this in the middle of whatever time I have with the group. I would do it closer to the end so that in-group references can be exploited. And when we did our thing last year, Ivy, we had some of the students definitely exploiting things that happened on this 10-day program that we were running and that everyone knew about, and then it made it really funny to talk about that. With sensitivity, you can create slides that are about a certain person in the group, as long as it's not a mean thing. I chose the current events route. You really could have given that to anyone and they could have created some story. And also mine, both of ours, Ivy, was followed some sort of narrative arc. It's there was something that we could see connected the whole thing. Some teenagers like to just create random chaos. Every slide totally different. And I would say, to the extent that you can encourage them not to do that or to do that less, try to. But fundamentally, it's not in your control. You're just being create 10 slides. We're all going to mix them up. Let's go. And so if you're playing the game too, you just got to be ready for anything. I think that's all I have to say about that game. Questions about PowerPoint karaoke? Straightforward.
One question is, and you may have answered this and I may have missed it, and if so, I apologize. You give them, if you know you're going to meet with a group in 3 weeks, do you send an email, say prepare a slide? Did you ever do that? I know that, and it could be read by anyone, so it's not.
Yeah, certainly. I think if you have the opportunity to meet with people first and just tell them in person and to give them a very short deadline, it's tonight I'm telling you about this game. Tomorrow night we're going to play the game. You can choose, and you can let people wait until the last minute to decide whether they want to participate or not. And some people who say they are going to do it will not get around to making slides. And so you just sort of show up and you see who's brought their 10 slides.
It can be very generic, and sometimes I think those are good. Like the last one, I actually saw the last one I made, and it was breads of the world. And so it's 10 slides about breads from around the world with really stupid pictures. So,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be anything. You don't have to think about it that much.
Yeah. And yeah, Ivy, that's a good point. Many of the presentations that are created in haste, just thrown together last minute, tend to be the ones that I'd say are the most accessible to other players of the game. Yeah. When people really nerd out, they can create these little universes that get a little bit too complex.